Hello, 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 hello. There we go. Wow, I didn't have music. That would explain why people weren't hanging out pre-show so much. Should have looked over there at the little meter. So thank you for letting me know. I appreciate. You're 20 seconds behind, so now I can see that I have sound going out, but I do appreciate the comments from viewers like you because you help drive the show. And today we will be talking about the NearStream cameras and app. Cameras, there's multiple cameras in the ecosystem, and they have an app, which is both for iOS and Android. And I have one of their cameras right here. So a little bit of disclosure first. They sent me these cameras for a review. I did not pay for these cameras. I will be reviewing these cameras, and then I don't know if I need to send them back, if they're going to ask for them back or not. But that is the disclosure. They don't have control over this show, nor of the review that I will be publishing later. So with that disclosure out and about, you can then assess the information we get today directly. So also, this is an interactive show. You are here, I am here, we are both here together. So it's like if you were standing right here next to me and you had a question, that's what the comments are for. So you can chime in on the comments and let me know what you think. We are back in the studio today, so I am streaming to LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. So any of those platforms I can see comments from, so feel free to watch. I generally don't like to watch stuff on Facebook because the audio is weird. When you listen to the pre-show music, it speeds up and slows down, and it speeds up and slows down. I don't know what Facebook is doing, but they're not really a great content delivery network. I always love to know where everybody is watching from. Where's everybody watching from today? And we had a couple of people chime in early. Prime Minister Permando Sao says, hello from Paris, France. Congratulations on the elections. And Glenn Hosnett from the Manchester United Kingdom. Congratulations on the elections. Ori is in the Middle East. I don't know if you're in India, because India just had elections too. Al is in Pico Riviera, California. Here's hoping for the elections. Everyone getting no sound, can't hear you. That is me. Julio is in Atlantic City. And wait, we got one more. Just came in here. GD Creations is saying hello from India. Namaste. And Royal Entertainment SKN is St. Kitts is in the house. So literally it's an around the world show. I love the fact that anyone can do live streaming and have a worldwide audience. Like I'm just here in a little space in my home with a green screen background and able to push a stream and have an audience around the world, including Northumberland, United Kingdom, from the Pocket Video School. Good to see you, Mark. And I appreciate you all being here. Again, if you have questions as we go through looking at the NearStream camera, we'll do an unboxing, and then I actually have a couple of them set up. I hope the one that's outside the house does not go to sleep before we get there. Oh, wait. One more popped in here. Tanya Weaver, ADT member. Hello, everyone. Good to see you here. Thank you for being here. As I always say, thank you for letting me know where you're watching from today. What streaming questions do you have? This is a viewer-driven show, so if you have streaming questions, and they don't have to be limited to the NearStream. They could just be in general NDI, audio, or whatever. You could throw them in. I will answer them. And then also, I wanted to hear if anyone had already owns a NearStream, because they have been around for a little while. And what are your thoughts with regards to the NearStream? And if you have questions with regards to the process as we go through this, let me know. Just post them in the comments. Let me turn that off. And as always, if you are watching on any of the other platforms other than YouTube, YouTube is the place where all the content goes. We just came out with this 100% successful, everybody loves it. Great. It's actually a revision of an article I wrote 4 years ago. And now 4 years later, I go through and everything in it still is 100% valid. So I remade the mobile multicam success, which I wrote that for Streaming Media Magazine, which is a magazine that I write for. I wrote that for Streaming Media 4 years ago, and it still holds true. Oh, no, not that one. This one. There we go. So Streaming Media Producer, I write for Streaming Media. You just go streamingmedia.com, click on Producer, and you get information for producers. And then you could sign up for the Focus newsletter, the bulletin, and live event, and it just comes to you in the email. You don't have to hunt anything down. You can read through it. Oh, that's interesting. Then you click and go read it. So it's super easy. And then also, if you'd like to be notified when my streams go live, here we go. Julio likes my video NearStream. So right here, you can click on, we have a NearStream page, and it's got 155 followers. Thank you for all those who helped me get up to over 100 so I can stream on Facebook. But that we are live here in this group every week. And then also from a couple weeks ago, I did an art video on AirMix, and I'm actually going to do one on AirMix Solo, I think, next week. I'll try to actually do the show on AirMix Solo. That'll be interesting. And AirMix is an iOS app for phones, tablets, whatever, and you could do multi-camera, live switching with audio mixing, video playback, stills, graphics, scoreboards, streaming, recording, instant replay, camera correction, lens correction, chroma key, all kinds of stuff, and it's free. So if you're interested in trying something out for free, there's this. And I created this group because AirMix is orphaned from Teradek. They made it, they supported it for a couple of years, and then they says, listen, this is not part of our core focus. We're going to release this. We're not going to support it. They don't support it. There's no updates for it. There's nothing. So if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. That's just the way it is. But if it does work for you, it's a cool solution, and it's 100% free. There was a bunch of paid upgrades and things like that. 100% free. So you can go check that out. And I created this group so that people can like test it and talk to each other and say, hey, how does this work? And we can help solve these things for each other. So you feel free to join that if you want. And then also, if you want consulting, you can reach out to me at stream4.us. Stream for us. We're looking for someone to stream for us. And that will take us back to here. Let me go back through, see if anybody else chimed in at the end here. Stop. I'm not trying to reply. Oh my goodness, I got two things open now. All right. Tanya Weaver says, hello, everyone. And I want to start live streaming, but right now all I have is my tablet and my phone. Hey, check out that AirMix. If they're Apple. AirMix, you can use an Android device as a camera, a cell phone or whatever, but the actual switching app is only on an iPad or iPhone. I think it runs on an iPhone. And if you only have two devices, AirMix Solo could work for you too. And it's free. So join the group and check it out. And how does AirMix compare to vMix? AirMix is a lowly iPad app that's no longer supported, and vMix is an insanely powerful and configurable desktop computing app that can do amazing things with a zillion inputs and is still actively supported. Have you looked at PTZ Optics Hive yet, Anthony? I have started to. Got busy with a couple things these past couple weeks, so I started. I have one of their cameras here. It supposedly has Hive built in, so I'm in the process of diving into Hive, and it looks really powerful. It's not a switching tool; it's a remote camera control app. Although when I was at NAB, he talked about building switching into it. So I don't quite know where it sits because I haven't had time to dive into it just yet. But it looks really interesting. Oh, that was Randall. Great answer. Yes. Thank you. vMix is a great tool. AirMix is an iPad app. It can get some people some of the way for free, but you are definitely going to hit limitations, or maybe not. If your show is simple like this, you could actually set up an iPhone and a tablet and maybe a second iPhone, and that's it. Soup to nuts, you're done. It's not a very complex thing. If you've got like a little talk show, you could set up 4 phones or iPhones, Android phones. What was the other? iPad Touch. Don't know that. The little iPod Touch with the little camera in it. Some of them had video cameras capability. You could use those as cameras. I mean, they're not going to be great cameras, but they're going to be cameras. And it's a way to get set up, switch cameras, control audio, encode a stream, record it, push it to the internet. And that's the essence of streaming. And you can have lower thirds for each person, and you can build scenes. There's a cool thing. You can build scenes so that when you cut to someone, it has a certain graphic in the corner and their lower third. And when you cut to someone else, you can have that graphic in the corner and their lower third. And then you can build a multi-view with two people side by side in AirMix. It's way better than it has any right to be. And the fact that it's free has made me say more people should know about this, at least until Apple upgrades their OS and it breaks the app. And Pocket Video School asked the very time, what iOS version does AirMix work with? I don't know. AirMix is probably at least one iOS back. I have not tested it with the latest iOS, so I don't know. And with the I haven't tried to run it on the M series chips. The latest version of Apple Silicon, not the A series. I have an A series tablet, but they have the new M series tablets. So I don't know. Technically, according to Apple, there should be 100% compatibility, no matter which processor you have. But when you get to applications like this that really pull from a lot of resources inside the tablet, the GPU, the built-in video decompression, mixing and recompression and all of that, really diving deep. When you change the way the chip is designed, it may cause incompatibilities. I would love for someone to chime in the AirMix group on Facebook and let us know. Another question, how to install Speedify network bonding app on the YOLOBox Ultra? Well, there's already, if you go to the YOLO Live group on Facebook and search for Speedify, there's already many links there to YouTube tutorials on how to install Speedify on your YOLO box. It's not supported by Speedify or YOLO Live because YOLO Live has their own bonding. But if you don't want to pay for YOLO Live bonding, I understand, and Speedify provides other things that you desire, then you can go that route. My iPad is only capable of V16. Yes, well, that's actually a benefit. If you have older devices, AirMix was discontinued like 2 years ago now, maybe even further. And so it was designed for older devices. It wasn't designed for the latest machines. The latest machines didn't exist when AirMix was being built and supported. So if you have older devices that aren't being used, those are actually the perfect devices to run AirMix on because it was designed for older devices. So that works out great. That covers all of the questions and comments so far. So let us get right into this. This is the NearStream. It comes in this pretty box. There's two versions of the camera. There's the 2K version of the camera, and there is the 4K version of the camera. So the 4K version of the camera comes in a flimsy paper box, and it comes with a USB-C hub dock adapter, whatever you want to use. So I am pulling HDMI off of it as well as capturing it wirelessly from the camera itself. It's right here. We'll get to that. So this camera, let's go in my overhead. What? Yeah, this thing decides to not work at times and then decides to work again. There it goes. There, now it works again. I don't know. Let me open this up a little bit. So this is the 2K streaming camera. This is just a little sleeve. We're going to slide this off. The 2K camera comes in a really hard box here. There we go. So good storage and protection for it. We're going to pull this out. This one has never been opened, so this is what you get. Quick start guide, app download path. You can run the app on your phone. User manual in multiple languages. It's like IKEA. Warning, warmong, advertisements, advertisencias, and I can't read that one, or that one. Advisios, and nope, and nope. So that's the manual, which I'm not going to read. And this is your warranty card. This is the camera, and it comes with a pretty heavy-duty USB-A to USB-C cable. So we're just going to pull this out. Again, this is the 2K version, and the only way you're going to know that once you pull it out is it says VM33, and the 4K has VM46, I think it is. It doesn't say it on the box, but that's the only way you can really tell them apart. There's no differentiation in the look and feel of the camera. They are both 10x zooms, so all they're really changing is the sensor, I guess. So this is the wireless 2K live streaming camera. So it's FCC, CE, it's got all the different certifications on here, which is a good thing to see, because sometimes you get things from China and they don't have all those certifications, and you're kind of left wondering. But this one does. So we're going to close up this box and put it off to the side. If I go over here, you'll see on the back, this is the VM33. Up here is your battery icon. Let's check it. It says it's fully charged. You have a reset button because obviously there's a computer in here. Your mic input, USB-C for power, and if you have the 4K model, you can plug a dock into it, although I believe the dock does not work with the 2K model. And then a power button and a micro SD card slot. Across the top, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 microphones. Sounds like a lot. But what they do with these microphones is it's a microphone array, so they can really directionalize the pickup pattern by using timing across these different microphones. I mean, to me, I would have just put a couple microphones in the front. You know, that would be me. And then if it's coming from the side, it'll hit this one, then this one. If it's coming from that side, it'll hit this one, then this one. If it's coming from directly in front, it'll hit both at the same time. You could use that. I probably wouldn't need 8 microphones. And I would have rather liked a cold shoe on top to be able to make use of this microphone input with a cold shoe and a directional microphone of my choice, or a wireless receiver or something like that. So like the Mevo Start, there is no way to clip on a light or a microphone or anything else on here. Also of note is there's no lens cover, nor is it threaded. It is recessed, so it is behind the body. So if I put it down on the table, it's not hitting the lens, and the lens moves internally. It doesn't project out of the body. But I would have loved to have seen, look, I already got a fingerprint on it. Unbelievable. I would have loved to seen a lens cap on here. Maybe they can make a little silicone thing that just fits in there with like a little grippy on the end. That would be nice. I just love keeping things protected. On the bottom, you got a 1/4-20 and a big grippy pad on this whole big opening. And inside here, like the Mevo Start, is a battery, computer, Wi-Fi, and microphone encoding, and obviously a big zoom lens, because when you zoom it, you actually see that thing move. So I'm going to bet about this much of it is optical zoom all the way across here. And then I can feel the weight on the bottom is just a honking battery. So that is a look at the camera. I got greetings from Chicago. Great to see you. Thank you very much for chiming in today. Now, that is the camera. I'm not going to use the USB cable. I am going to use the app. there is a light on the front of the camera, and it indicates a whole series of things. Let me get one of these manuals again. The power indicator lights go on and out in turn when you power it up. Firmware updating, it flashes white. Access point mode, it's flashing blue. Access point mode not streaming, it's solid blue. Connected to an access point, it's flashing green. Connected to an access point not streaming, it's solid green. Live or SD card recording, it's solid red. Battery is fully charged. All the power indicator lights are solid. Battery is low, flashing a single light. Battery is charging, flashing all the indicator lights. So there's a whole lot of things going on with this indicator, and it is an RGB indicator because it can go white, blue, or whatever. And the one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't do tally. So when you use the app and you call the camera up, the light doesn't tell you, like if you have a bunch of them, you can't tell which one is active. So I mentioned that to them. LED indicator functions, red denotes. So yeah, they are going to stick to their color scheme, and I recommended to them that when you activate the camera, it should go red. When it's not, it's green. But they have already a well thought out color scheme, and they're sticking to it. So let me try this. No, we'll go to here. There we go. I have the NearStream multicam. This is on an iPad Pro, first gen, so it's actually kind of old. But this is what we're going to use. Can I point over that? Oh, look at that. I can point over top of that. And I'm going to open that up. And what it's going to find, and I may have to walk away if I can't find the other camera because it went to sleep. So VM46. So you see the difference I was talking about? This one up here says VM46, and this one right here says VM33. So the 33 is the 2K. The 46 right here is the 4K, and it's connected to my Wi-Fi right there. Say connecting, and then I can say continue. So this is the 44, the 4K model. And right now it's blinking green. And you can see there's a delay between my main camera, which is hardwired all the way through, and that camera, which is going wirelessly. And I always say there's going to be a delay between wired and wireless. These are all designed to be wireless. So if you have multiple of these cameras, then the issue may not be an issue because they will all be delayed together. So the delay you're seeing between my live camera here and the NearStream camera is not one that you're going to see because the app is designed to switch multiple NearStream cameras as well as graphics and mix audio and things like that. So this is the app, this is the camera. So this is the camera I just hooked up. You can see there's no audio. We can turn the audio on. Hello, hello, hello. And you can see that it is slightly delayed. Up at the top, you see it says live and record, and there's a little gear icon at the top. So we're going to click on the little gear icon at the top, and it brings up the application menu. And which way do I go? I go here. And here you can go your transitions. A cut is a great transition. I don't need to do a box swipe every time. Camera input quality, you can select between 2K, 4K, 1440, 1080p high, 1080p, 720p, 480, and 360. I don't know why you'd buy a 4K camera and go to 360, but you can do it. 1080p high, it's just the bit rate, 5120. 1080p is 4096. I'll stick with that. That's what's worked pretty well for me. And down at the bottom, you can enable HEVC. I'm just going to leave that alone for now. Say done, because again, my iPads are a little older. I don't want to. HEVC is a little bit tougher of a codec. Video source latency. So here you can see it does low latency, standard latency, and high latency, depending upon the strength and the resiliency, the pervasiveness of your Wi-Fi. So if you've got a really strong Wi-Fi and all the cameras are close, you can go super low. If your cameras are further away and you're outdoors and it's having trouble getting all of the packets, you might go to high latency, which gives it the ability to retry packets. So right now I've got it on low latency, which as you saw is got some, actually, let's go to standard latency and we'll see if that makes any difference. Auto director. So you can see you can put different cameras. I don't only have the one connected so far. You would activate that camera and then you can set the time at the bottom. It says 3 seconds to 3 minutes. And then you say start. And all it's going to do is going to go this camera, this camera, this camera, this camera, this camera, this camera, which technically is a auto director, but it's more like a security camera thing. People viewing it after a couple go-throughs are going to really catch on to the fact that it's just cascading through the same cameras in an order. For comparison, if you went to the YOLO box, you can do an auto switch in the YOLO box where you can select your cameras, you can have different times on each camera, and then you can set one camera as a preferred camera, like my main camera, and say, come back to this one more often for this length of time. So it's like, my main camera, my side camera, back to the main camera, go to this side camera. And there are different lengths. I mean, it's still going to kind of be the same pattern with the main camera interspersed in there more often, but at least it's a little bit more variable than 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. That's going to get really boring really fast. So I don't see that being much of a use. Anti-flicker, 50 hertz or 60 hertz. So that means it's already understands and is ready to be used in different countries that have different AC refresh rates. About and support. We're going to say done here. Then you can see that little icon just under the gear icon. That is the storage space that is left on my iPad, which is not a lot. And then we come down here at the bottom. You see there's an icon for cameras. I can click on cameras. I can try to click on cameras. Oh, I am on cameras. I can't click on it because I'm on it. Click on photos. So I've already loaded up some graphics in here. And then over here, you got your audio. So the top is my output and the bottom is the camera. And then there's a gear icon for that. So here you can say, use the built-in mic array, which is what it is using because I don't have a microphone plugged into it. And then you could go into general mode, which is more of a wideband audio, or you could use speech mode, which narrows the frequency response a little bit. When you use the plug in the back, it can be a microphone input, or if you throw this switch right here, well, I don't have anything plugged in, so it's not working. You can tell it that it's line input, so that's handy. And then USB audio in. To use an external USB-C audio device, disable the wired webcam mode in device settings. So the USB only has one function, and they are preset to be wired webcams. To do anything else with the USB-C, you have to disable that function so that it's not automatically trying to spit out wired UVC camera out of the USB-C. So if you want to send audio in, you have to not do the other thing. Okay. Close. That's about it on this page. You can mute the output. And interestingly enough, and I notified them about these audio meters, if I mute the output while I am loud, the main audio, which is right here, freezes at that point. It doesn't reflect that my output is now 0. Although the output does. But this is the one that stays on the main screen. So if I go back to the main screen with the cameras, all you see is this, and you think, oh, I've got audio. Well, you actually don't, because your output is actually 0, and it's just because I muted it when it was loud. It froze at that point. So there, now I muted it while it was quieter, and it's, and that's where it froze the audio. So that for me is a bug. But here you can, mute individual microphones, and you see now that both of these locked where it was. So if you have multiple cameras, you can choose which one you want to get, or the levels from each one. And then, the meter is okay, but again, the meter is delayed. So you would want to have your headphones plugged in here, and because of the delay, you would not want to monitor your own audio if you're the person in front of the camera, because the audio is going to be delayed to match with the video that is delayed over here. And just like I don't keep my headphones in the entire time while I'm talking here, because even in the Director Mini, the audio is delayed to match the delayed cameras. So it is a common function throughout all of these things. If you want to monitor your audio, then use an audio mixer beforehand, send one input into the tablet, check to make sure that that works all the way through, and then you're not monitoring this half, you're only monitoring the input half. But of course, you can run into a problem like I did, where I was monitoring my audio here and wasn't monitoring the audio in Restream, and it had the wrong audio input selected. So you had no audio at the beginning of the show. We've got a lot more people here right now, so let me say welcome to everyone who has joined the show. A little bit late, but I do thank you for being here. Today's show is all about the NearStream cameras and the app. So we're already talking about the app. I unboxed one of the cameras, and we're going to add all these cameras to the app and do a little bit of switching and stuff. So thank you all for being here. It is an interactive show, so if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments, because I have the comments right in front of me and I can see them. And I can see Bass Boat Concepts just asked a question. So let us go to Bass Boat's Concepts question, which is, with the included dongle with the VM46, can you record video to USB hard drive instead of iPad internal memory? Well, each of these includes a micro SD card, so you can record internally. Can you record to a USB hard drive? I don't know. That's a very good question. I have not tried that. I do have one, but the dongle they gave me only has one USB-A connection and not a USB-C, which is what my little SanDisk external drive comes with. So that's a good question. I'll have to look into that and put that into my actual review, which will be posted later. So thank you for that. Sorry, I can't answer it. I'm just being honest. If I don't know, I don't know. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fire this camera up. I'm going to boot this camera up. There we go. It's thinking. It's thinking. Anybody who saw Night at the Museum, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. And we'll go back over to the cameras. And oh, now we go to the plus. Let's just say we go here. Let's say here and here. No. Phone. There we go. Here. So at the bottom, there's a little plus. So we want to add a camera. So we're going to go plus. And you can see this is where I add cameras, graphics, pictures and pictures, multi-views, and audio. So you can add audio clips too. People who like to have music playing under stuff. That's where you do that. I'm going to add a camera. Ooh, it sees my VM33. Oops. 0225. 00225. Yes, that's this one. It tells me my battery is at 88%. And it's the Wi-Fi connection. You can see, it's very important to notice, this one is connected to my Wi-Fi in the office, Frisco Studios. This one is not, but it was still found. It is broadcasting as its own Wi-Fi access point. So what we're going to do is now we're going to set it up to be on our network. Yes, I have a Wi-Fi for optimal performance. Keep each of the cameras within 100 feet. Next. So what it's going to do is it's going to pass the information along about what my Wi-Fi is. Here it is, Frisco Studios. See, I'm connected to that. I want to connect to this one. So I'm going to switch to Frisco Studios. And as you can see, there was a lot of different Wi-Fis available. So that's something to always be aware of. And in my video, Seven rules for mobile multicam success, it applies to this. Mobile multicam success. If you have multi-cameras and they're mobile and they're using Wi-Fi as your connection, that is a must-see video because it talks a lot about making sure your connections, your wires, your wireless wires between your cameras and your switcher work. So that's a very, very key thing. Let's go back over here. All right. To connect to your mobile device, tap join and connect. Now it says a new firmware update. So you can see now it says it's connected via Frisco Studios. These are both going through the office Wi-Fi in the studio here. New firmware is available. You know, I always say don't upgrade, but I'm going to upgrade anyway. So you can see the upgrade process too. While that's going, question came in. Will this be good for outdoor heat and sunlight? Don't know yet. I have not heard reports of these things in the sun. They are pretty big, so the housing may have enough ventilation. I do not see any openings for a fan or active ventilation. I do not see anything opening. And then also with the microphone capsules being on top, that's where the rain would hit. Again, microphone openings on the front to me would be smarter. But that's not what they have. They have them on top in a little recessed area so the water can puddle up and then sink in. You know, whatever. Let me go over here and show you. So you can see that is like a little cavity where these microphones are. It's descended. You can see there may even be openings up in here for water and or debris to come in. So I wouldn't necessarily call these outdoor ready cameras. And a lot of people were talking about, oh, look, it's white again. So it's rebooting on its own. The Mevo Core in that group, they have talked about it has been tested to well over 100 degrees in an oven and was still working fine. However, it is also not waterproof. There was no effort to make that camera water resistant, IP6765 or whatever, none at all. You know, we're not talking about 6.8 submersible. That would be stupid. But at least if there's a little bit of rain during a baseball game, there's nothing about that. And I says, well, you know, there's an opportunity for a revision of that camera that has water seals and designed to actually get a little bit of rain on it, because people do stuff outside. Another comment comes in. No, we're not going to do that right now. All good in the sun. Ran VM33 and 99-degree heat at the ballpark. All good. Yes, and this is one of the key factors. The 33 runs for $399 when I last looked on the website. $399 for a 10x camera. So $399 gets you the 10x camera, and it does NDI, and it has that 10x optical zoom. So you're able to use it at the ballpark and change your focal length remotely and have different focal lengths for different times. Put it, you know, looking over the pitcher's shoulder at the catcher. Now, it's a 10x optical, and they say, oh, it'll do 20x, 30x, or whatever. Yeah, we'll see in a moment. I wouldn't recommend going past 15, 16, because what you're doing is you're cropping into the sensor, and then you're enlarging whatever image is left. So I wouldn't do that. So this camera is done updating. You can see right over here, it says connect. Let me get rid of that comment. You can go to that comment right there, or go to that connect right there. Boo, 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 boo. Still searching for cameras. We're going to say continue. Now I have two cameras. Let's see. 1, 2. They are in time. Or at least really close. So you can see this is the iPad I'm working with right here. I've got some notes up here from what I contacted them about. This is what I'm using to switch. This is my sub switch. This is my buttons to switch. So I've got lots of buttons over here on the right. And so this is my second camera right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out of frame for a second, and I'm going to put this on a mount. Now, the 33 needs to turn more this way, even a little more. And then we'll go into, like we already went into the gear icon at the top. right up there. Now down here at the camera, this is the 46. This is the 4K model. I am mostly centered on that one. I'll put that a little more. So this is the one that I'm going to change now. So I've got my wide shot right here, which is the 33 that I just added. And then I've got my 4K over here. Now again, they both have 10x lenses. There's not a difference between them in terms of lens reach, and they're both blinking green at me. So why does the, oh, because the 4K is focused on this. Really? You're going to be that pain in the neck? Is that better? Focus on my hand. Now focus on me. Or you know what? We can do that manually. Let's try that. So it's focused incorrectly. The 4K is focused incorrectly. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the gear icon, do image adjustments. And here you can see at the top right here, I've got my zoom adjustments. Filters are like if you wanted to do like Instagram, high contrast, black and white, soft, vibrant. Just ignore those things. We've got autofocus. That is going to be our first problem. So let us go into manual focus here, and we're going to push the focus, I think. There we go. Ta-da! Focused. Auto exposure is on. If I put it on manual exposure, it's going to go just a little darker. And then we're going to go up to exposure 8. I don't see anything yet. Go up here, 29. Starting to. Come to here, 51. Almost. Come up to here. Whoa, okay, that's too much. 82 is too much. And it gives you numbers. Right here, it gives you a number so you can like match cameras, and it gives you a plus and minus button, which makes it easy as opposed to like trying to grab a little touch thing and just move it a little bit and it's always jumping around a little bit. You could just hit like that. Okay, then I go minus, 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 minus. Getting there. You can see how my forehead is still a little overexposed there. Minus, minus. Getting there. That's actually looking pretty good because my forehead is kind of exposed on the monitor I see here too. So there we go. Auto white balance. We turn that off. Let's see what happens. Very tungsten. And then you can, of course, do a quick drag here. That's worse. That's a little better. Actually, that's not bad at all. I still make the exposure a little darker. And remember, with the exposure, these don't have irises. As far as I know, they don't have an iris. So all you're adjusting is the shutter speed. And as I close it down, the shutter speed is increasing. And now you can see this band in the middle of my background here where it's catching the refresh rate of my LED, which is not present in this one because I'm controlling the, this is at probably 1/30th or 1/50th of a second. Whereas this one over here, you can see in the middle of the band, there's a dark band that's slowly creeping up the background behind me. Down at the bottom, we've got HDR, which of course I'm going to toggle it on, and I think it's probably going to mess up the image, but we'll toggle that on, and ooh, that actually looks pretty good. And we kind of lost the banding. So what did it actually do? It went back into auto exposure automatically, and it's handling the darker areas right here and the brighter areas on my head naturally. And I have to say, it looks good. I have to say it looks good. And then down at the bottom here, you've got brightness, contrast, saturation, and hue. Those happen after your exposure. So you don't want to have something that's overexposed and then try to make it darker. You're never going to fix the problem that the camera itself, the sensor, is getting too much light. You have to go in here and either use HDR or your manual exposure to bring the exposure down so that you're not crushing the brightest part. And then you can affect the brightness contrast. This affects the video. This affects your camera. Okay? And then down here, you could mirror it. You could flip it. There we go. You can flip it vertically. So if you've got it mounted upside down, you've got it hanging upside down, boom, fixed. That's a handy feature. So this way you could actually do like a little table podcast and have the cameras coming from above pointing at each person, and there's nothing on the table. It doesn't interrupt their flow or even them looking at each other. There's no stuff in the way. So that's a really cool thing. So that is the fixing it. Oh, and the one thing I didn't do is, well, we want to zoom in. Let's go to 4x. It's probably going to be pretty good. And it's going to be out of focus again. There it goes. It focused automatically on my beard. Which is and if you don't have a beard handy, like I do, a beard really helps the camera focus because of all the detail and the contrast. That's probably a little too close. Let's go to 2x. So this would be good for a close-up. I should tilt this up just a little bit. Probably can't remotely, but oh, I did a little bit. So this way, when we go back to our wide shot, now it's really hard to believe that this, well, because this is uncorrected. You know, we can go in here and do the same things. Image settings, HDR, boop, and then the manual white balance. And I don't remember what number we had, but close that. So now we've got two cameras that are kind of close. Let's check this. Yeah, they're not timing anymore. They're not in perfect time with each other anymore. And I would think that would be something that this would need, is a way for these devices to communicate through the app so they maintain the proper timing together. Maybe it's just because I've been messing with things. One thing I have found to have them reset is I changed the latency, and it forces them to reconnect at the new latency. Nope, that didn't work. Video source latency, high latency. Done. You know, that doesn't seem any different in latency from the ultra low latency. So I don't see any difference between high and ultra low. So I'm going to exit the app and come back in a minute, but I wanted to say, here is, down here you can see a 2x and a 1x. Supposedly 1x, and they're right next to each other. Let's come in here, image adjustments again. One, if I go to 2x on this one, it's not as close as on the 4K. So I think the 2K and the 4K have different framing, because if you put them in the same spot, one is definitely wider than the other. That's what happens when you actually do an unboxing. Yeah, the 33 is definitely wider than the 46 at the same distance. So, well, if it's wider, then let's just use that as our wide shot. Close. So this way you can have, let me tilt it back down. You can have a wide shot while somebody's talking and then cut to a close-up of them talking and then be able to cut back to the wide shot of them talking. And so you can have these two different camera angles from the same position in the back of house. And that way, it gives you this capability to do a multi-camera switch. Now, it would be cool if the app did 4K, and then you could do a virtual crop in the app of the 4K. And then, of course, it would also match timing-wise. But because if you have 4K coming in, but you're only streaming HD, you could crop in like the Mevo apps do. But this app does not do that. The other thing that this one does is you could do overlays. It has lower thirds built in. So let us create a new graphic. A full screen overlay, a lower third, over the shoulder corner bug. Lower third, I can add my text in here. Hello. Hello everyone. Return. Text color is black. Do I want it on the left or the right? Seems like a really big box, doesn't it? And it's very empty. Do I want an image? If I want an image in there, it's just going to scoot it over and make room for the image to the left of it, but that doesn't really help. Format. justified. Oh, okay. There's a hello everyone, and then so you can have a person's name and subtitle. But to me, this box is massive compared to the text, and I can't change the size of the box, and I can't change the size of the text. I can't even change the font. So to me, this is not really as usable as it could be. Next, there it is. I could put it at the bottom or the top, the left or the right. So you can't freely position it either. You can't pinch and grab. Done. And you end up with, ready? Hello, everyone. I would never use that. I would not in a million years use that. I would opt for no graphics over using this. This is just, no. Over here is a corner bug. And, oh wait, let me take this one out too. You can have multiple graphics on. That's a good thing. Corner bugs. So what I tried to do was, let me delete this, remove. Let me delete. So I was going through here, testing it before the show. Remove. Go through here. We want a graphic. We want a corner bug. You know, like you want your logo in a corner. Okay, I want my Stream for Us or my Frisco Studios logo in the corner. It doesn't fit in the box. It doesn't automatically size it down to fit. I mean, I could rotate it. That doesn't really help me much. Why would you want to rotate a graphic that somebody handed you? You can't really make the box bigger. And so you end up with this. And again, you can only put it in certain spots and you can't change the size of it. Done. So that doesn't necessarily help me. Wait a minute, let's see if I can get this right. This graphic right here doesn't help me. Gonna throw that away, remove. What else do we have? Didn't like that. Didn't like that. That was another test over there. Didn't like that. Do plus, graphics. We did the lower third, over the shoulder. So that is where you could add your text. More text. Okay, done. Done. Why? No, I'm not saying return. I'm saying I'm done. Next. There it is. It's a box. And you can have it on the left or the right or the top or the bottom. Do you see a trend here? Done. And then there it is. It could be over the shoulder. If edit, I put it next on the right. Actually, let me go back one. Text direction, top, bottom. Wait, oh, it's not a direction. That's a placement. Text alignment, left, center, right, top, center, bottom. Wow. Background color, color opacity, background image. Next, so there it is. Hello, done. And now it's an over the shoulder. If I was to be here and I would say, as you can see in today's weather forecast, yeah, I wouldn't use that either. So we'll go throw that away. Next one, graphics, corner bug, over shoulder, over there, full screen overlay. Add your text. Welcome to the show. Done. No, I don't want to return. Go away. Oops, didn't want that either. Background color, color opacity, so you can like dim that a little bit. Background color, I don't know why. Oh, and here you go. You have this choice of colors. You have a color picker, but you can't pick a specific color. You can't get a hex code to match a client's color. You can't dial in something specifically. So here we have, let's pick turquoise. And there it is. My text color is black. At this point, I get maybe my text color should be white. Okay. And then I can make that more opaque, and I can make that a little darker. Done. There we go. Done. And now before the show, I can do that. So full screen is full screen, but you can't change the size of the text or placement or font size or font or italics or anything. And it's just irksome. And so we're going to throw that away. Next up is, I think that was all the graphics. Yep. Picture in picture. Let's do this one. Okay, done. And then I can do this. So I've got the picture over the picture. So I selected the wrong one. So let us throw that out. Remove, plus picture in picture. Let's select the close-up one. Now you can choose left, center, right, top, center, bottom. Free placement. Wait a minute. Look at this. I can move it anywhere. Finally. Don't you think all of those things should let you do this? So I could put this over here. And then a stroke size. You have the thickness of the. Ooh, look at that. Somehow I ended up. How did I do that? Somehow I ended up sizing it when it was hanging off the edge there. You can choose the edge color. We'll make that white. And then you can choose the stroke size, stroke color, free placement, picture in picture. You can rename it if you want. So let's do that. Done. And then I can add that. There we go. So that is kind of usable. I'm going to leave that one. Picture in multi-view. Okay, so let's do that. Interview for NearStream. Source name is that one. Source name is that one. And then we say done. And you know what's missing from the multi-view? Well, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this other overlay. Let's go back to my pictures, turn off the overlay. So now I have this multi-view in my camera inputs. You see over here on the left, down here. I have this multi-view. But do you see what's missing? Like if I go to it at the top of the screen, I just have two pictures. Edit. Is there a background? Is there a border? Can I make one larger than the other? No. Done. So that is that. Well, let's go back and let's look at that again. Multi-view. So you could, A and B is equal, A and B is full screen, A, B, C. Verticals, A is larger than B and C. So that could be useful if you have an interviewer and two other people. A, B, C, D are equal. A, B, and C, D are vertical. But again, you don't even have A and B, large B, for slides, a person talking to slides. You don't have that close. You could kind of get around that by doing the picture in picture, which is a graphic element, but then you have to reposition your main camera off to the side and put the slides over to the side like this. But I'd have to, because my main camera doesn't move when I do this or this. I'm repositioning it in my multi-view. So I think the multi-views definitely need some tweaking as well. Let's go back over here and we go plus, multi-view, and audio. Come down here, you can add music. I don't have any music on my iPad because I don't really use it for production. But amazingly enough, they give you, it auto-populates with all of this background music stuff. So, okay, you could add this one. Added. One song. There we go. It's got a pause, so I guess it's playing. Done. And then if I come down here, you can see the music is playing. I can mute my cameras. The music is still playing. If I mute the music, or if I turn down the music, that's interesting. It doesn't reflect, the meters don't reflect the fact that I'm making it quieter, which is really weird. So I think the audio metering definitely needs a revision and an update, in addition to the layouts of titles and graphics and overlays. The camera adjustments, I really do like the camera adjustments. Your audio settings, again, we went through that, and device settings. Now here is a whole set just to control the camera. Which camera am I on? I'm on the 33, the one that I just set up. It tells me my network is Frisco Studios, my battery's at 73%, storage not in there, camera name, I can rename the camera, I can set a password so if somebody else is on the network, they can't get into the camera. I can format the SD card. NDI mode, I can have this thing do NDI at 720p at 5 and 7, 1080p at 5 and 15 megabits a second. So you can turn that on with the app. Wired webcam mode, you see, that is what was mentioned in the other area. If I turn off the wired webcam mode, now I can use that USB port for other things. Power external USB devices. Power on off with a USB cable. Could be useful if you want to remotely turn the cameras on and off. You can have them plug into an AC adapter, and then, let's just say a church. You go into the church, you flip a switch, or you use, your home tools app, and you turn on all these remote switches throughout, the sanctuary. Click, 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 click. And now those little remote switches all turned on. They're now providing power. The cameras turn on, they connect to the Wi-Fi, and then they show up in the app. Camera input quality is 1080p at 4 megabits a second, which is what we set in the overall settings. SD card record quality is the same setting because there's not two different encoders here. And when your camera is not connected to the multicam, tap the power button to perform this action. Okay, that means you could possibly use it remotely, handheld, and I push the button, it records, push the button, it turns, it stops recording. Auto turn off after 15 minutes of activity, which is probably what happened to the one outside. The lights on or off, and then about, reboot, reset, and turn off the device. So we're going to leave those on. And then I wanted to go, we're going to delete this too. I wanted to go outside. Rome is here. Hey, thanks, Rome. Have a great stream. Again, we are live. You are here. I am here. I am doing the NearStream cameras to this app right here. This is the NearStream app. And if I go like this, this is the... Why do you need to reload? It was already there. Thanks, Apple. Why do all these apps feel that they need to refresh what was on the screen when you bring the app back up? So that I can get back to here, so I can say, okay, here we are, which is where I was when I clicked over. This is the app that we're using, and you can see by the ratings, it looks like it's either a love it or hate it relationship with this app. It is ready for your streams and recordings. Beautiful image control, reliable connection to my iPad. I actually do have this set up for streaming, so we can test that when I get the other one connected. So if you'll give me one moment, I will run over and turn that other camera back on. Alrighty, well, I hope you all had a moment to get a drink. We're going to hit the plus icon. We're going to add a camera. And there you see is the third camera. I turned it on. It automatically connected to the Wi-Fi. We're going to connect to that. We're going to say continue. And now you see this shot outside the house. And the reason I did that, I should have tilted it up a little more, but since there's no screen on the camera, I don't exactly know where it's pointing. We can click on that camera and we can see the outside, and we can, you know what, I am going to go adjust that a little bit. I'd rather see the fence, something with a little bit more detail than the street. There we go. So here you can see the tree and the light and everything. We can go in here, do the image adjustments. We find HDR tends to look pretty nice. Let's see if it tweaks that shot a little bit. We get more detail in the wood. And this is where we can zoom. It's already at a zoom of 7. So this is the actual shot. So you can see we've got lots of trees. And it's a 10x zoom, so we'll go to 10. And there it refocused. And that looks really clear. That really does look clear. Now, there's not a video out of just the program. The app does not provide a video output. I can only output the iPad's screen. The app itself doesn't take over the output and provide program out, which is another unfortunate oversight. Maybe they can fix that in the future. So 10x, let's go to 15x. So again, now we're really going beyond what the optical can do. 20x. You know, when focused up, let's put this on, turn the autofocus off. I'm thinking that looks pretty good. The Lorewood is blooming a little bit. I think that might be the HDR. Let's try turning that off. See, you see how bright the Lorewood sign is compared to the other areas? So it's trying to compensate for that by brightening things and darkening things and making them fit, but you're getting a little bit of blooming in the image. So we'll continue on to 25x. You know, if I was doing sports and I was looking for an over-the-shoulder from the outfield, I think that could possibly still be usable. But let's go to 30x. Now you can see the leaves are starting to get a little blotchy. They're kind of essence of leaves. It's kind of like a Monet at this point. I'm looking at it very closely, and I can see, I wish this did have an output that I could show you, but it doesn't. And then it says we can go to 40, so let's go to 40. You see, that doesn't seem like, that's a 10x difference. That to that is supposedly 10 times closer. But yet, if I come from 1x, let's give it a second. One x to 10x. That to me seems like a much smaller area. 10x is a much bigger crop of the big thing. You know, even going from 1x to 2x seems larger than going from 30 to 40. If I go from 1 to 2, I've cut that image in half. Whereas if I go from 30, so I think the image cropping math is a little bit off. If I go from 30, now technically, if I go to 31, it should be smaller still. But if I go all the way to 40, it only goes that far. It doesn't seem like it's mathematically correct to me. But, got a question in. It says, you can use NDI. Absolutely. These are NDI cameras. I'm not set up to do that for today's show because I actually do have an NDI device. I could try to bring that in. Let's see. That one is the 330211. Let's try it. Let's give it a try. 0211. We're going to close this. We're going to go back into the 0211 device settings. Turn off the wired webcam because we don't need that. We're going to turn on NDI at 15 megabits. Oh, custom resolution and bitrate. That'd be fun. NDI settings, turn NDI on. It's not letting me turn NDI on. Do I have to like not do something else? Do I have to, you can go up to 20 megabits. That'd be pretty nice. Let's go right there, that's fine. But it's not letting me, so I don't know if NDI is something you have to activate with a license on each camera. Let's try going to the 4K device settings, NDI mode. To use NDI, we need to report back to NearStream. Yeah, okay. With NDI, multicam will only receive a low quality stream for device control. For higher quality, turn off NDI mode. Okay. So we're going to, oh, I can't change it. And so let's just do NDI. 5 megabits is really slow. I'm going to turn it off. Okay. And then I'm going to turn this up to 15 megabits. And then I'm going to turn NDI back on. And then I'm going to see if I can add an NDI stream to my show here on the Director Mini live while I talk to you. It's searching, it's doing an NDI search on the network. No sources found. That's weird. I don't see why that would be the case. Okay. Local VM46, there it is. It found it. Save. And I'm going to go into this one. I'm going to turn the audio. NDI is off. So this is my normal camera, and this is the NDI camera from the 4K right there. Actually, the delay on the NDI is pretty close. I'm not going to try to build a picture-in-picture right now, but you can hear my audio coming from my main camera, and the video is coming from the NDI camera. Let me try to close that, go to my, let's go to my overhead. Going to go to the wider camera, device settings, NDI mode. NDI mode works there. Wonder why it doesn't work in the other one. Okay. Close. And then we can come over here and we can add NDI stream, NDI search. Here's my 33. Save. And then I can go to 33. There's a 33. You can see there's a little more on my shirt. It's actually why I wore this shirt to see how bad things would get with the detail on the shirt. Because if you look on my main camera, you can still see a little bit of more, but it's not as bad as this one. Oh, it's weird how it plays catch up. That is really weird. So if I go back and forth when I cut to the next camera, that is the weirdest thing I think I've seen. So if I go up and down and up and down and up and down, and then I cut to the other camera, it's going to go through all of the content that I went through to catch up to where I was. So me waving my hand back and forth, you're going to see a bunch of that when I click over here really fast. That is weird. Definitely seems like a bug to me. And then if I again go to my outside camera, let's go to the inside camera here and set device settings. Oh, okay. So you can't go to NDI mode while it's an active camera in program. So I'm going to turn NDI on the outside camera on. Okay. So now your multicam app becomes a controller. Should go over here. Your multicam app becomes a controller, but so that I can control these cameras and change zoom ratings or whatever. But I'm not seeing the full quality here. What I want to do is, if I come over here, I can add NDI stream, NDI search. 0211, was that it? 0211. There it is. Save. And now I can cut to the outside. Oh, I didn't turn that sound off. So you're hearing that as well. Let me turn that off. Edit. No. There we go. So that is the NDI output at 15 megabits of the 33 or the 2K camera zoomed in at 40 times. And that is, whew, would you use that? I don't know. Let's go back to 30x, which we know is not going to be that much further. There's 30. Let's go back to 20. Still, it doesn't seem like it's much further back. And let's go back to 10, which is the optical limit. So that looks really highly contrasty. Let's turn HDR off. That looks a little bit more natural, actually. And then all we would do is turn, well, again, if you try to turn the brightness down, all you're going to be doing is darkening the image that it's already delivering. But if I turn the auto exposure back to 50, put the focus on autofocus. So I'm turning the exposure down here. And there it goes. It starts to get a little darker here. A little darker. A little darker. I'm down to an exposure of 26. So bright sunlight on the leaves, dark shade under the tree on the fence. It is a challenging scene, to be sure. Now it looks like it's a little overcast with a cloud. It says right here, the Magewell Director Mini had that issue switching between NDI sources. Well, that is what I'm using. The Director Mini is what I am using to switch between my ND or NDI sources. Jay Phil says, you have to stop recording on the camera. I wasn't recording on the camera, but I had to stop. I had to take it out of program. Any chance of running Mevo Multi and bringing in one VM33? Not right now. No, I don't have the Mevo Multi app, and I don't have authorization. I don't pay for the subscription, so I don't have ability to do NDI. There's just too many tools to be paying for subscriptions for. So I don't pay for subscriptions for all these different tools all the time. That's why I also don't do a lot of shows on Switcher Studio anymore, because I don't pay $50 a month for a tool that I don't use regularly. So that, you can see the wind blowing my camera around a little bit. Either that or the earth is shaking. Again, what I was, for a moment there, what I was actually looking at was, I was looking at the image quality here, and I was just like, oh my goodness, that just looks so bad. But again, I had to remember that when I switch the NDI mode on, it's sending a low quality proxy here. So I'm seeing all kinds of, like, compression artifacts and banding around the sign, and the tree is just turning into a gloppy mess with the compression. But again, this is, when you go to NDI, this is not what you're producing here. This is not what you should be looking at. So I can control the zoom here, and I can see that I am controlling it. But at the same time, this is not my final quality here. What is the final quality is what is coming over NDI, and then it catches up. So that is what you're seeing here, is the NDI quality coming out of the camera directly into my Director Mini via NDI, 15 megabits, and you can see the exposure going up and down with the clouds. So now it's a little bit hot, whereas a moment ago it was a little quiet. And I can still dial that down. Let me try turning on the HDR again. Yeah, even though it brings up the darks appreciably, I would not go with the HDR solely because of the ghosting that I'm getting on all the bright things, especially like the sign. I've got, you know, it's like doing a double exposure. And so the sign is being exposed and then re-exposed. And I don't know why you're getting that little echo around there. So I'm going to turn HDR off. And it's probably not going to put the auto exposure. You can see, yeah, it's still a little bit too bright. And then I go to manual exposure. No, I still get a little bit of banding on there, don't I? It's just more pronounced with the HDR. So that is a look at the app control, the camera capability, the camera zoom, the multi-camera sync. Well, of course, inside and outside is not going to be in sync. They are close. Like if you're doing baseball, I don't think it would be an issue. You just take sound from one of them and switch between the cameras. And this enables you to have a multi-camera app. You could switch between the cameras, tap, tap, tap. And you could switch between the cameras pretty easily. I would love to be able to adjust the zoom right here on the, let's go to overhead. I would love to be able to adjust the zoom right here, you know, to have like a little zoom slider where you just touch it and, you know, move left or right to zoom in or zoom out. And then you could touch it again to, you know, take it, touch the zoom, touch the zoom in, and then take. That would be cool. I would like to see that. I would love to see the audio be more responsive than this. And I would love to see the audio be correct in terms of the accuracy of the levels. And if I go into audio and I turn off my output, that the output, which is right here, doesn't stay frozen to that last moment in time. That doesn't make any sense at all. So the app itself needs refinement, but I think the cameras, though, the cameras offer a good amount of capability. And I wonder now, I'm going to the outside camera, can I, over NDI, yes, I can control this over NDI, store this as 1, zoom in, store this as 2, go back to 1, go to preset 2. Now you can't see my Director Mini overlay because that's actually the production tool I'm using, but I'm using the built-in NDI controls from the Director Mini to zoom in, set presets, and then go between those presets. And it works, and it works well. So using the NearStream app to set up your cameras to your network and turn the NDI on and change your NDI settings, that works great. And then once you've got the camera set up, it looks like you don't even need the NearStream app anymore because they're obviously not going to pan. They're zooming in, but you get the full range. And let me before I say that, let me go back over here and call up the PTZ for this. And do I get the full range? Can I keep zooming in? Yes, I can. And can I keep zooming all the way out? There we go. Store as 3. Go to 1. Go to 2. Go to 3. So that, yes, I know it's heavily overexposed. That's fine. That is, the exposure is something you would need to have like auto exposure set in the camera, which you would need the app for. So you go back to your cameras, go into the camera, image adjustments, and then you set it back to auto exposure, and then that should properly. Let's turn on HDR because that street is just going to be way too high. There we go. Look, I can see the sky and kind of the street. I kind of just wish there was an exposure compensation because it seems like it's exposing too high. So I kind of wish in lieu of HDR that this is normal. Like, I don't need to see the shadows under the fence as much as I would like to see everywhere else that is really bright. And it doesn't seem like it's assessing the image properly and saying, oh, you know what? Let me go in here and reset to default for everything. Auto exposure. Nope, I just reset the default and it definitely just wants to be super bright. I wish you had exposure compensation so that I could say, this is where you want to expose it. Give me 2 stops darker. And I know the Mevos do that. The Mevos have auto exposure compensation. These cameras really need the ability with the app to say, I know where you think you want to be, but because of the way the grass is green, but the player is super bright because they're wearing white uniforms, I need you to expose darker than where you think you should be. And just doing that, but what that lets you do is if there are clouds going by and the clouds like today, you know, the image gets darker, the image gets brighter, and the image gets darker, and the image gets brighter. Well, where you set that adjustment to, as the camera adjusts, it's gonna change that as well, and that would be a great asset, I think, in terms of making it a more usable output without having to go to manual. And then once you're in manual, it doesn't auto adjust for clouds or other changes. So lots of capability here. A few more little tweaks to the camera. I think the camera is ready to be used directly over NDI. A lot more tweaks to the app, and then I think the app is ready for prime time, especially with the titles and the graphics. Lots of tweaks with that. But the app is a good first start, I think. But I think overall, the NearStream cameras, I didn't even get into the audio because I don't really trust a microphone array. I think the NearStream cameras deliver in terms of image quality and optical zoom for the price point, especially. I don't necessarily know if you need the 4K camera since they're both 10x, and the 4K doesn't give you the ability to do a virtual crop unless you're streaming it, unless you're taking 4K over NDI, and then, can you even do that? And then you are, close. Let me go to the 4K camera, image adjustments, no, not image adjustments, device settings, NDI mode is off, okay. Going to NDI mode, no. In the 4K camera, you can still only, make sure I'm on the right one, close, 46, yes. You can still only NDI at 1080p. So there's no ability to take that 4K signal and be able to window into it and grab different shots. So at this point, the 33 camera, which is the 2K camera, I think is for only $399 with a 10x optical zoom, NDI, win. That's a win. I think that is a real win. And the app is free. It allows you to stream and record using the app if you wanted to do that, or just to be a controller for multiple cameras. You can hand that off to someone else and they can say, oh, camera 2 is a little dark, bring it up. Camera 3, zoom in, and things like that. And VM46 has HDMI out as compared to the VM33. That is true. Thank you very much for writing that in. Bass Boat Concepts did point that out, and I actually did plug that in. So we can take the 46, which is my close-up here. Oh, it lost. Oh, because I turned NDI off. That's okay. Let me take device settings, turn NDI back on. Okay, close. Yes, close. And see if that pops back up. So now we have, there we go, the NDI catch-up. Close. And this is the NDI. And if I come over here and go to this, whoop, that didn't work. Yeah, that should be it. Nope, 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 nope. It's not there. I don't know why. I did turn the, oh, maybe if I'm doing NDI, the device settings, turn NDI off, okay. And then see if that comes up. We'll give it a second, but I don't think it will, because it might be a mutually exclusive. Either you're doing NDI or I'm doing HDMI out. I'm not doing both. You should, if you can, compare the NearStream to the PTZ Optics Studio Pro. I don't have one of those, so I can't do that comparison directly. I could reach out to them. And but what Bass Boat Concept says is the 46 has HDMI out. Yes, that has the whole USB-C out, so you can externally power it while also getting HDMI out and possibly even USB audio in to the 46. So I think it probably indicates a higher-end processor inside, at least on the USB part of the chip. But in terms of optics and value for the camera, I'm thinking the 33, the 2x camera that comes in this cool hard box. Here it is over here. It comes in this cool hard box, perfect for storage and transport. Unlike the, I wish more cameras were shipped like the OBSBot tail airs that come in those nice little zippered pouches that protect them, so they have a place to go when you're done shooting. Pack, 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 put them in a bag, you know, go. You could use the box, you know, it's perfectly suitable, but I don't know, the zippered pouch just feels a little bit nicer. With that, I will do a little bit of self-promotion. And again, if you are new to the show, side by side, laptop, all the content you see and hear about is here on the YouTube channel, StreamTek. Please subscribe, find a video you like, share it to your social media so that more people who don't know about the content I'm producing can find out about it. And especially check out the mobile multicam success. Just half the video is about Wi-Fi, I think. TriCaster is great if you're talking about NDI. And then there's another recent video, VHF, UHF, 900 megahertz, AVX, 2.4 gigahertz microphones. I talk about wireless microphones and the different technologies therein. All of that is on the StreamTek channel and a whole lot more. Also, you can find, you could click and follow the StreamTek channel here on Facebook, and that way you'll get notifications about things that are coming up. Where's my cursor? Here it is. And then I also have the AirMix group for those who would like to sign up for that. You could follow my work on Streaming Media Producer. You could either search my name and then find articles, or sign up when reviews get published right there for newsletters. And as always, you can reach out to me directly at stream4.us. Stream for us, there's a contact page right up at the top. My name is Anthony Barocas here for StreamTek. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for watching.